Okay, so continuing on with the cycling of matter within ecosystems, photosynthesis and cellular respiration play a key role in the transfer of energy and the cycling of matter through ecosystems. Cycling photosynthesis and carbon dioxide uses carbon dioxide and water and produces glucose and oxygen. We've already gone over this a little bit, but you can see here's the chemical formula. We have carbon dioxide and water using the sun's energy to via the chlorophyll down there at the bottom, and it creates sugar, right? C6H12O6 and oxygen. Cellular respiration uses glucose and oxygen and produces carbon dioxide and water, right? So it's basically the exact same process flipped. Well, it's not the exact same process, but it is they're complementary cycles. I guess that's what I'm getting at here. They are complementary of each other. They require each other. Okay, here's the picture of them. Photosynthesis and cellular respiration cycle carbon and oxygen in an ecosystem. Ecosystems are dynamic, which means they're constantly changing, okay, due to a variety of factors. Succession is a series of natural changes in an environment that occur over time, following a disturbance such as a forest fire, a flood, a windstorm, or the construction of a beaver dam. Okay, so here's a picture I have of succession, right? So we have a mature forest here, and what happens there is a forest fire, right? So all those nutrients are returned back to the soil that were in the forest, were in the trees, and we have primary succession. Okay, and you'll see this in a minute. We'll talk about primary and secondary succession. But this gives a bit of an idea that there's going to be some annual plants at the beginning. Then we have some grasses and herbs, um, shrubs, pines, young oak and hickory. The pine will die off, oak and hickory will mature, and then we have mature oak hickory forest. Okay, this is just an example, um, but and that's over nearly 100 years. Okay, so primary succession takes place in areas lacking soil. So I've got a picture here of some rocks. I'm sure you've been in the white shell and seen some lichens like this on rocks. This is primary succession. Okay, this is also primary succession where we've had a forest fire. Secondary succession occurs in areas that have previously been inhabited, right? So we have the secondary succession taking place, or a place that has previously been inhabited. So they used to be trees that were clear cut here. In forests, sorry, uh, deforestation. Okay, so you have the video that you watched as well. Deforestation is when forests are cleared for human use and then never replaced. So here's a picture of, here's a forest here, and here's one that's not replaced over here. So I want you to watch the video now. Does the Sandylands region have deforestation? Okay, no, they don't actually. They're cutting down trees to kill diseased ones. Okay, so I've got a little article linked down here. But people can also clear cut, but then they need to replant the trees that they cut down. Each of the stages of succession is ideal for different species. A climax community is a stable, mature community that results when there is little change in the species inhabiting the community. Okay, an ecosystem includes all the interacting parts of a biological community and its environment. Okay, a sustainable ecosystem is an ecosystem that is capable of withstanding pressure and giving support to a variety of organisms. When the term sustainable ecosystem is used, the word sustain has two meanings. One, to support, and the other to endure. Okay, so when we're talking about an ecosystem, we're talking about one that is able to support itself and is able to endure, is able to have some longevity. Sustainable ecosystems endure, but they're also supported by a variety of organisms. Okay, those are the animals and the plants and things. People and many other organisms rely on their ecosystems for things like oxygen, water, food, and shelter. This is why having a sustainable ecosystem is so important. Okay, what is your house built of? Right, it's usually built of wood. Uh, what kind of food do you eat? Well, we eat animals, right? And we want animals to have a healthy place to live, and they live outside mostly, right? They need healthy water, they need oxygen, they need shelter. Many organisms depend on more than one sustainable ecosystem to survive. For example, the monarch butterfly are able to return to southern Manitoba each year because they have been supported for breeding and overwintering by many ecosystems in the United States and Mexico. Okay, so we know that every ecosystem has both biotic and abiotic parts. This is a bit of a review. Biotic parts, remember, refer to the living parts of an ecosystem. Just a bit of a review here. These parts include things like symbiosis, predation, and competition. Abiotic refers to the non-living parts of an ecosystem. These parts include water, oxygen, light, nutrients, soil, right? Remember again, non-living parts. All biotic interactions in an ecosystem have some effect on the ability of that ecosystem to endure and to support all organisms that are part of it. Okay, remember that's sustainability.